I'm ugly. What should I do about it? This is a question sent to me by a young man, which says, I'm 18, I'm ugly. It's something I've known for much of my life. I'm extremely uncomfortable with the way I look, avoiding my reflection all the time. If I happen to grab a glimpse of it, I feel very depressed. The thing is, it's possible for me to get a jaw surgery, which he talks about his jaw receding as a major point where he thinks his ugliness lies. It would give me a better look, yet I don't know if surgery is the answer. I don't want to be a narcissist. What should I do? Thank you, my friend, for reaching out for help here. I'm happy for all of us to dive into the open, vulnerable door of your question. What I'm not going to do is the superficial willpower deal of telling you, hey, you're beautiful. Stop thinking you're ugly. No. I'm not going to discount the fact that you perceive you're ugly, and it sounds like you perceive that other people perceive that you're ugly too. So I'm not out here to discount your perceptions. Even if I did, it wouldn't change your perceptions. At best, I could temporarily influence you to see yourself the way you see me seeing you. It would be a very feeble, temporary influence. So I'm going to honor how you perceive yourself. And I also want to acknowledge, boy, have you been through a lot of pain? I mean, living your whole life, believing, seeing yourself as ugly, I doubt you could measure how much stress, sadness that's caused. And I'm guessing you also can't measure how much of life's possibilities you've hidden from in order to avoid seeing other people see you, and in order to avoid seeing yourself. So thank you for bringing all of that to the table here. I do want to mention, as I'm getting bitten by bugs here, in my opinion, there's a very low correlation between looking beautiful and feeling beautiful. So what I really hear you say is, I feel ugly. Yes, I look ugly to me. I look ugly. But I'm guessing what really wrenches your heart and is the biggest challenge is how you feel ugly. How little is the correlation? You can look at some of the most quote-unquote beautiful people in the world, and some of them, not all, some of them feel very ugly about themselves. Hence, they feel very depressed. They have abusive addictions that happen as a way of them masking their feelings of ugliness, even though, again, they have the look of beauty. And, of course, some people will compensate for how ugly they feel by trying to build external beauty, whether that's through surgery or just painstaking efforts to look more beautiful. And it is just that, a compensation of how ugly they feel, not a transformation of their ugly feelings about themselves. And my friend, it sounds as though you have sold yourself a story that says you're not beautiful. But what I hear you say is you've yet to find your beauty. So I'm going to ask you to right away question the story that you've sold yourself. And I know it's a very convincing story. You look in the mirror and you have more reinforcement of the convincingness of your story of, I'm not beautiful. But please look at it as it's just your story. But really, you have yet to find your beauty. So now you look in the mirror harder and say, I'm really paying attention to the mirror, JP, and I don't see my beauty. I don't believe true beauty is something you actually see. I believe true beauty is always found within. I believe the true beauty we're looking for is indeed a feeling of beauty, not a look of beauty. If we can feel beautiful, and I believe the only way we can truly feel beautiful, whether you look like Brad Pitt or you look like a monster, we can only truly feel beautiful if we go inside, tap into our inner beauty. So my invitation to you, and I realize part of your dilemma here is to have the surgery to look more beautiful, or to not have the surgery. Personally, I have no attachment to whether you get the surgery or not. I think that's a personal choice. There's probably no wrong or right choice. It's just your choice. But my invitation to you is seek your beauty first. Find your beauty inside. Then make your decision whether or not to have surgery. If you can find some amount of your inner beauty, then I believe you're able to make a more rational decision whether or not surgery truly serves you. If you haven't found your inner beauty, then what that probably means is you're trying to escape this feeling of ugliness. So you're in a reaction to the ugliness. You're trying to get away from it. And if your decision to have a major thing done, like surgery, is made out of a reaction, that's not necessarily the most sort of level-headed place to make a decision, nor is it necessarily coming from your heart. Yet if you can come to a place of plugging into some of your inner beauty, then your decision is likely going to be made with less reaction and a little bit more responsiveness, thoughtfulness, and heartfulness. From there, certainly only you can tell you whether or not surgery is your best decision. And it might be, and it might not be. And I also know that find your inner beauty, well, that's a journey. That's really easy to say. It took me like 3 seconds to say that. Find your inner beauty. I know it's much more of a journey than a destination. It's much more challenging. Yet you'll never begin the challenge until you answer the call. I believe you've reached enough discomfort in your life that you are being called. You need you to begin searching for your inner beauty. You've lived long enough discovering your true beauty. It's not on your outside. Your true beauty, you have as much beauty as anybody else in the world. It's JP's opinion. All that's left is for you to find it. I'd like to tell you just a short little story here to close out our video. And it's a story, I have no idea where it originated from, somewhere other than myself, yet I will probably butcher it. I'll give you my version of the story. And I'm also going to use the word God, so please substitute whatever you like to use instead of God. Mother Nature, universe, Santa Claus, doesn't matter. It's a metaphor. So, there was a time when God was just so bothered by people because they kept going up to him. God's a guy and he's a person, apparently. Anyway, people kept going up to God and bothering him, saying, God, this is so beautiful. Look how beautiful I am. I am so beautiful. My beauty is so beautiful. And God was just so bothered by it. People just wanting to thank him for their beauty. People wanting to celebrate their beauty. God said, boy, this is really a nuisance to me. I'm going to need to start to hide their beauty from them, from people, so I can get something done, so they don't bother me as much. So God called a meeting with a lot of the heads of the animal kingdom, his panel of wise counsel. And he says, where should I hide human beings' beauty so it takes them longer to find it? The dolphin says, should put it at the bottom of the ocean. They won't find it. God says, well, I think they'll go there. They'll find it there. Then the owl says, you should put it on the moon. They won't go there. God thinks for a moment and he says, no, they'll go there. The lion says, you should put it in the deepest jungle. They won't find it. God says, well, they'll even go there. Then the blind gopher says, you should put it inside of them. They'll never find it. So, my friend, be the blind gopher. Close your eyes because your true beauty isn't able to be seen. It's something that can only be connected with, felt, and experienced. Be the blind gopher. I appreciate your vulnerable question, my friend, and you entertaining your food for thought, and all of us entertaining this food for thought. To help you continue to awaken to your inner beauty, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll be talking to you real soon.